Hello, Aquarius. This is Jill with the Healing Moon Tarot. And today we're going to do your general June 2018 reading. I apologize right now for any sniffles and the boring camera angle today, just the one camera angle. I have been under the weather and I'm just trying to keep things simple and to get through this with quality rather than quantity kind of thing. Nothing fancy, but it hopefully is still helpful and resonates with you this month. I'm going to do a pretty simple spread, but it is mental, physical, emotional, spiritual space for the month, and then a couple suggestion cards at the bottom. My hands are very swollen and sore today, so just bear with me and we'll get through this hopefully with a great reading for you, Aquarius. So let's see where we're at for your mental space this month. If I can get this card out. A 10 of Wands. This card has been a popular card today. So in your mental space, it may be time to reevaluate some of your commitments in the world or responsibilities. This person is obviously carrying around something that he does not want to be carried around or be carrying around. This is a burden. This is uncomfortable. This is not how he wants to spend his time, I'm sure. So mentally, it may be a time to think about your thought processes. What's serving you in your life? How are you taking on too much? Are you trying to take care of everything yourself rather than delegating some responsibilities to the people like in your work or in your home, what have you? This card just screams, put it down. Put it down. It's not yours. You know what I mean? And I say that almost every time I see it, but really, that's what that card is saying. That ain't yours. Put it down. So whether this is becoming more just this month, you might have a lot of stuff you got to deal with. But if you are very logical about it and mindful about it, some of those things could probably be handled differently. Work smarter, not harder. It may be time to just get really organized or to take a different approach to some of your responsibilities so they don't feel like such a burden and you actually get to enjoy them this month. Now let's pull a card for your physical space, Aquarius, and see what we get here. I didn't want a whole bunch of cards. Okay, more turn. All right. This one, and we have the moon. You may be seeing things in your physical world from a very different point of view or in a different light. And this card really speaks about intuition and growth and evolving as a human. And one of the big things that helps us evolve our perspective as people is be willing to see things in another light. Because daylight and moonlight, things, the most beautiful place on earth could look really scary in the moonlight, right? So what are you doing at night also? How are you spending your night times? How are you sleeping? How are you, what are your habits in those hours? Are you taking time to yourself at night? Are you taking time to connect with your own brain in a healthy way? And it doesn't seem so right now. It seems like you're probably staying up late because your brain won't turn off because you're carrying around and worrying about a bunch of crap that ain't yours. Sorry, but for real. Aquarius. So physically speaking, the month of June may be really important for you to be mindful of your nighttime routines, be mindful of the perceptions you have over your body. If you aren't respecting your physical body, if you're not loving your, it's time to take another perspective. It may be time to take another perspective on your diet and your habits and your physical exercise, those kinds of things, getting really literal with this here. But regardless of how this other perspective is playing in your life, it's necessary in the month of June to have some reevaluation happen here. Now let's take a card for your emotional space in the month of June. And we have the Fool. You may not be feeling emotionally attached to things because you're mentally worn out. So your emotions may be screaming for you to just get up and run. I'm out. I'm taking this leap of faith and I'm just out, right? And Aquarius, actually have an Aquarian child. So I know all about how this Fool energy can play within you all. And a lot of times you do just want to have a good time. And you do just want to go with the flow. And you do just want, you don't want these responsibilities. You don't want to deal with that crap. Like, you have better things to do. And I'm not saying Aquarius are irresponsible at all. But I'm saying something I've noticed in a lot of my interactions with Aquarius is that they ultimately want to enjoy, like, they want to have fun. They want to have a good time regardless of what they're doing, even if they are working, even if they're bogged down with a bajillion responsibilities or whatever. It's not that they're not capable of doing it. It's not that they don't want to do it and they don't want to put in the effort, but they just really want to have some fun. And so the Fool card doesn't always speak of fun, but that's definitely how I'm interpreting it here, just because that really came into me when I pulled that card. I'm like, okay, I just want to be a damn fool. I don't want to be serious about anything. I don't want to be attached to stuff. I want to be able to take a leap of faith. So emotionally, and that's fine. That's fine, but just don't neglect other things, because that feels burdensome. But emotionally, you're just like, yeah, I'm out. Like, just don't throw it all to the ground and jump off the cliff. That's not going to help long term, Aquarius. You know what I mean? Like, don't be like, screw you, I'm done with this, and bounce. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair to yourself, because at some point you will be like, man, I could have handled that so much better, or that was really mean of me. And again, that's something that can happen with you all, where you get really bitey. Like, you'll say some mean words, like Sour Patch Kid stuff, like where you're really sweet, reverse maybe, you're really sweet inside, but sometimes you just really, like, how to take someone out at the knees sometime. And I'm just really, with those two coming up in this way, I'm getting a really strong feeling that you might feel inclined to say, screw it, I'm out. I just don't want to do this right now. I really just want to have a good time and focus on other things in life or whatever. But I know you'll regret it if you do that. So it's okay to put things down. It's okay to be focused on feeling fun, feeling carefree, and so forth. It's okay. Just don't handle this poorly. Like, you can do both. You can find a balance there. I know you're able. So let's pull a card for your spirituality for the month of June. And we have the Queen of Cups. So you may be feeling really emotionally connected to your spiritual journey right now, or fulfilled, or feel like you're it may feel very nurturing to you right now, whether you attend a traditional church or group kind of setting, or this is something, your spiritual journey is something you do on your own. Regardless, I feel like you feel in a good space with it. You feel that it's nurturing you, and you feel that you are growing and sharing and connecting. And this is a card of emotional connection, so you may be getting emotional support through your spirituality. That's helping some of your other stuff. So I think that's a beautiful card to come up there for you this month, and I don't think we have a ton to talk about there. It's just she is emotionally mature, has a level head on her shoulders, and she's willing to share her cup. So I feel that's just you enjoying your spiritual journey, being having your eyes open and having a willingness to have a connection to it, which is a really beautiful energy to have. Now let's take a couple suggestion cards for you this month. I want this one, and I want this one here. So we have another Queen of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords. And this is calling you to be logical, which may not be easy because emotionally you may be being foolish. And sometimes when we're caught up in being the fool and just trusting it and jumping and going with the flow, we lose sight of some of these logic needs. And the Ace of Swords is like that aha moment, that very sharp, logical things are just making sense, and light bulb moments, this potential there, like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about this that way before, or this is a brand new thought or experience kind of thing. And the Queen of Swords, she's one tough cookie. She's fair and just, and she will speak her mind and be really straightforward and blunt. Doesn't really have much of a give about the emotional stuff. Like, she comes from good intent, but she isn't going to tell you what you want to hear. She is going to tell you the truth, because that's what matters the most to her. And just be really logical and straightforward about that stuff. So these two cards coming out in your suggestions are telling you, get logical, get mindful about all of these things, especially this. I keep pulling back to this over and over and over again, but it's because it's this freaking card, man. It's a crappy card to get. I know this feeling. I know this being overwhelmed. I know taking on too much stuff. I know just feeling like, man, it never ends. The to-do list just keeps growing and growing, and I'm never going to get caught up, especially like right now, coming out of an illness, all the things I've neglected. My house needs attention, you know. So just feeling this overwhelming kind of thing, whether this is on a small scale like what I'm experiencing. Like, there's nothing traumatic or awful happening. I just have stuff to do that I don't feel like doing. You know what I mean? So, but these cards are telling us to get logical about it. Like I said, maybe it's time to reevaluate, work smarter, not harder. Take some of these aha moments. Give yourself time to think about and create a logical plan. And you may actually have to start a planner, which I know sounds like an awful idea for some of you. But some way to get yourself organized, write things down, get really logical about them, set an order, hold yourself accountable, mark things off. Like, for example, this is something I've started doing. In my planner, instead of writing workout, you know, why would I write that in my planner? But I write workout before 10 a.m. So I'm giving myself more strict guidelines. Like, I have a lot to do, and I'm feeling overwhelmed because I'm not managing my time properly to fit them in a way that works for me. So I've started implementing little things like that. And so that's on my mind, and that's kind of how I'm seeing this energy here, is figure out ways, be super logical about this stuff. How can I cut down my workload? What responsibilities are really mine? What aren't? how can I approach this in a way that's going to keep me moving forward, keep me progressing, keep me feeling good, and like, but leaving me with time to have some fun and enjoy my life a little bit more. Wow, that was a really good reading, Aquarius. I really enjoyed doing that for you today. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, I would love to hear from you. My other social medias will be linked down below. And speaking of which, my Instagram, I've started, well, it's not brand new. I've been doing it for a while now, but I do a daily card pull there, and I write a little blurb about the card or things the card makes me think of, questions that makes me ask myself, and I incorporate that into my daily meditation and prayer. And I'm enjoying the interaction I'm having there with people, and I just wanted to make you all aware of that if you would like to join me there. I will be back in a couple of weeks with another reading for you. So until then, be well, and I will see you soon. Bye.